Hello, it is Serum, and I am back on Kerbal Space Program, and we are going to Duna, hopefully. First, though, I want to get rid of this stupid thing that was a fuel hog, and I had to cheat to rescue my guys because it sucked. So I'm just going to separate it here, and I'm basically just going to go send it crashing into the moon. Don't really need it, don't want it floating around. It's worthless, so it's going bye-bye. So I'm just now basically sending it into a spiraling orbit into the surface of the moon. There we go. That's all that needs to be done with it. I'm just getting rid of it. So, like I said, we are going to Duna. And then we are also going to attempt to land somebody on Duna. So that's probably not going to be as easy as I'm hoping it sounds. But I don't know what I just said there. That didn't make any sense. I'm hoping this will be easy, but I'm guessing it won't be as easy as it sounds. So I've made, after several attempts, I've made an approach to Duna, but I've never done this before. I've never actually gone to another planet. I've gone to the sun because that's easy to do. You just fly towards it and you'll get pulled in. But I've never actually gone to another planet, so I really don't know what I'm doing. And on top of that, with 3 of these nuclear engines, it's going to take a while. It's really going to take a while, and this ship's wobbly as hell. But after fighting it, I do manage to get it lined up. And of course I use a little time warping to stabilize it and get me positioned where I need to be. The moon looks so beautiful there. Goodbye, moon. Here we come, Duna. In about 20 or 30 minutes. But yeah, I've basically found an approach, and I burn, and it takes a long time. It did take me like 20 minutes or so. I didn't time it, but it took a long time, and I think I even walked away a few times and did some stuff and came back, and still nowhere near there. But I do eventually, slowly here, as you can see, I get to the orbit that I want. And there goes the moon, slowly disappearing behind us. Very slowly. So now we are just going to time warp ahead and see if we can catch up with Duna, which is orbiting by over there on the side. It's so slow. It's such a big space to have to cross that even at, this fast of a warp, it takes a while to get there. So I come in, there it is there, and although we have an approach, I realize this isn't like just going to the moon. I'm not nearly close enough to get pulled in, and this is where I realize I screwed up. I don't know what I was thinking. Obviously I didn't know what I was doing, but this is not going to work. And I play around a little bit, but I'm not able to find a way to meet up with it and get pulled in, having an encounter. But I do eventually find one, but it's way over on the other side of the orbit there of Duna, so it's going to take a while, and I have to do another long, like 15-20 minute burn, and it's costing me a lot of fuel, a lot more than I had planned. So this was a learning experience for me. Make sure you have an encounter when you do these things, because if you just get close, that's not enough. So I do finally, I get the encounter, and now we're just warping ahead again. But at the same time, I realize I've used up a lot of fuel, and I might have enough to get back, but it's cutting it really close. And this ship isn't as fuel efficient as I thought it would be. I thought I'd be able to go a lot further on the fuel that I had. And maybe if I did things better, I could. If I slungshot around some other bodies like the moon and stuff, it might have given me like a little bit of an edge. But I don't know what I'm doing. I just flew in that direction. But anyway, I have the encounter, and now I am basically pulling myself into an orbit with it. And I want to get in nice and close on that periapsis. So I'm aiming for about 80,000 meters. So here we go. We're coming in slowly, and unfortunately this is still using up fuel. And then I'm not even, I want to try to get an orbit around the equator, so I basically now have to burn again to change my orbit, and this is all just costing me lots of fuel, not to mention lots of time. So yeah, at this point I realize that I'll have enough fuel to do this, but I'm cutting it really close on getting back, and with my experience with this, which is pretty much nil, I probably won't get back on the fuel I have, so I'm actually going to have to send a fuel tanker out to fuel up my ship again. But that's for another episode. For now, we're going to try to get into an orbit around Duna and send the guy down to the planet. So now I've got the orbit I'm pretty happy with. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. And my ship will continue to orbit for a while and do scans of the planet and take pictures and all that fun stuff. But for now, we're going to send somebody to go down to the planet. So he's got to go over to the little lander on the side there. You know, it'd be kind of cool. I hope in the future they have a way to move guys around inside. Like you could hook up little tubes or something that they could move through to get from one ship to the other. Obviously, in this case, it wouldn't work, but it'd be nice if two of those living quarter things that they have on the ships there, that when they're connected, like you could move your guys in between them without them having to do a spacewalk. But I mean, at the same time, it's kind of neat going out, having them fly around the ship. But anyway, it would be kind of cool if they could do that. It would make more sense. But anyway, back to this, and I try to grab on and miss, of course, because I came in too fast. No problem though. So, got on again. This time we're getting into the module, no problems. So now he's in the other ship. He's ready to go, so we detach it here. Or first I have to switch over all the fuel, because he doesn't have any, which is wasting more of the fuel this ship has. I mean, I might be wrong. That might be enough to get home on, but I'm not going to risk it. And besides, I don't really want to go back yet. I want to go to Joule and explore that system too. So I'm probably going to just send out a tanker to fill this thing up. Also doing the RCS fuel. Look at the planet down there. I hear there's a face on Duna, but I haven't seen it. I was looking for it. It might be on the dark side. So now we're detached. This should be the easy part. This thing has, I believe, 3 parachutes. So it can, as long as there's an atmosphere, it should be able to land without too much difficulty. It'll save on the rocket fuel. And that's why I designed this thing, so that it would be able to land on surface, any kind of surface, if it had atmosphere or not. But if it has atmosphere, it also with the parachutes will use less fuel landing, so that hopefully there'll be enough to get back. But I realized here when I detached that the engines weren't turned on. I've already basically deployed the parachutes, so once we go into the atmosphere, they're going to open up whether I want them to or not. That was a little accident on my side. But I did activate the engines, and it's going now. And this little thing's got some power, so it's moving along nice and steady. And I was thinking of aiming for that crater, but I wasn't sure how much the atmosphere would affect the ship coming in to land, because, you know, like on Kerbin, when you're falling in, you slow down, so you end up not hitting your target. So I figured I'd aim a little bit out past the crater, and then I would land inside. What I didn't estimate, or didn't expect, was how thin the atmosphere was, so basically I didn't end up making the crater. I shot right past it and landed right where I had my orbit thing showing where I would go. So if you're ever going to Duna and you haven't been there yet, don't expect too much from the atmosphere on slowing you down, because there's not much there. So just aim for where you want to go and you'll pretty much make it there. So this was a good learning experience, if anything. So everything's looking good. It's smooth. It's going smoothly. I'm excited. I'm gonna get my first guy on Duna. First guy to leave the Kerbin system and move on to the next planet, or to another planet in general. So now I'm just kind of playing around, and there's my parachutes. They open. But I got a problem. I'm coming down really quick, so I have to throw on those engines. I'm getting nervous. This is going to be bad. And it is bad. But at least my guy survived. So yeah, I stopped a lot quicker than I was expecting. I should have been putting more thrust into it sooner, but I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know what to expect. I thought I would slow down sooner, and you know, I was expecting a lot more atmosphere than there actually was. So now I know for next time. But yeah, and I'd probably put struts on there to make it stronger, and then maybe another parachute or two, just to make sure. I think I have 3 there. Yeah, I think there's 1 on top and then 2 on each side. I mean, that's probably enough, but yeah, but obviously I needed to slow down sooner. But at least Ferdorf has made it safely down. He's the first Kerbin to land on another planet. And then right here, I'm just playing around. I'm testing to see if I can repack my parachutes, just out of curiosity, because I thought you could, so I wanted to make sure. Whee! And now a little celebration. Whee! So, anyway, that is about everything. Next time, we're going to try to get that ship fueled up, and I would like to land a base on Duna and a rover so this guy can get around. So I might try to do that, and then also send the tanker up to refuel that ship, but that's going to be a lot of trips. So that's it for now, and I am Serum, and I will see you next time. Bye.